Okay, I am actually ready now.
All right.
This storm will kill you.
Ted Cruz!
Look! I'm telling you! You know what I mean?
But if rich people aren't looking out for us, who is?
It makes no difference which one of us you vote for. Either way, your planet is doomed.
You're listening to the Our Take Podcast with Bryan Sherman.
He had a full head, all the way till the end. It was white, and I was hoping to get that. I was hoping to get, the full head, and it was really hard to cut it off.
And Spencer Rogers.
To be a good pilot, you have to be able to make good decisions, and I know what my credit score is, so I know I don't make good decisions.
This is the Our Take Podcast.
From Scary Parrot Media Studios in Ogden, Utah, it's the Our Take Podcast, episode 124. I'm Bryan.
I'm Spencer.
On this day in history, it's March 20th, by the way. What happened? Are you okay?
Yeah, no, there's a Family Guy.
Oh.
Go ahead. I'm going to pull up a clip. I don't know.
March 20th. On this day in history in 2003, the United States invades Iraq, assisted by the United Kingdom, Australia, and Poland. Oh, Poland's going to be pulling that card soon.
Yeah, probably.
we helped you invade Iraq.
We were a coalition of the willing.
Right. What else? In 1916, this is relevant to me only, not to you.
60 or 16?
16. Albert Einstein presents his general theory of relativity. I just read A Brief History of Time, as I was telling you.
All right.
Yeah, Stephen Hawking.
Well, good thing you read it, so now that we can fend off all those haters on TikTok.
No, you read it and you realize that no one really knows anything. I don't know anymore. If anything, I know less. And it seemed like Hawking, although he figured a lot of stuff out, for every one thing he figured out, it raised 10 more questions.
Well, yeah.
So,
Well,
it's a good read, but
your
don't go there for answers, is what I'm saying.
Your clip at the beginning made me think of this Family Guy clip for some reason.
Apparently, the Greeks have a bunch of different gods. Athena is the goddess of wisdom. Poseidon is the god of the sea.
And I am Kronos, the god of time.
Oh, cool. What do you do?
I tell the time and make gift baskets.
So, are you also the god of gift baskets?
I don't know. You tell me.
Rosewood mango candle? Kronos?
I know. It's 4:30, by the way.
That's what it's 4:30, by the way, was the bit there.
Gotcha.
Should probably cut that out. That was stupid. I apologize that I cut off the intro
people
music
are gonna want to know
for
why
something that's so fucking stupid.
People are going to want to know why you're laughing. Honestly, I'm also a bit distracted because I'm trying to figure out how to go live on TikTok at the same time. It's not working.
Oh.
So we'll just try
I
that
don't know.
next time.
You're going to have to read Stephen Hawking's second book,
Right.
A Brief History of TikTok. And going live.
Well, you got to find what's called the stream key, and I can't find it right now because we're in the middle of a show.
Stream key.
So we'll just do it next time.
I often press the stream key whenever I need to pee.
Okay, cool.
This is going to be a good episode. I can tell. I can tell the way things are going right now that it's going to be really good.
Well, here's the thing. There's a lot going on in our minds because suddenly, after a week and a half of spring, it's a blizzard outside. It's now just kind of
raining now.
But it was a blizzard.
It was making because you know what's weird is a couple weeks ago, like 3 weeks ago, I told Winter. I said, "Listen," I says,
Listen,
Winter."
Bitch, you said.
I said,
right.
"Listen, bitch, Winter, we're done.
Yeah.
You need to. We're done. This is it. You need to just go away." And the next day, Winter comes and freaking snows like a foot.
Yeah.
And so I sat Winter down, had a very serious conversation. I was like, "You can't do this again.
Right.
You can't. I'm wearing shorts now. Just so you know, I will be wearing shorts regardless of the weather.
Right.
So if you come back again, we can't see each other anymore." And wouldn't you know it, a week later, another foot of snow out of nowhere.
Right.
So me and Winter are not on good. I'm assuming that's why it's only kind of snowing because Winter's treading lightly. It's like, I know.
Spencer called me a bitch last
I'll
week.
know that. I know what's up. I can't.
Yeah.
I can't do that again.
Right.
Speaking of being a bitch, I've been getting weird ads lately.
Uh-oh.
Well, not super weird, but I got on, I think it was Facebook or something. Maybe it was just a random news page I was on looking at stories. But I got a shirt or an ad for this T-shirt, and I was just so like incensed by how stupid it is that I thought I'd share it here with you.
Okay.
Why is it not going on my text? Nothing is working today.
We shouldn't have started the show when we did.
There. Anyway, it's a T-shirt that references Joe Biden's or his administration's the Build Back Better program, and it states, instead of Build Back Better, how about we put it back the way you found it? And I'm just like, so riddled with COVID, a downturn economy.
Oh man.
I don't what.
I don't get it.
This is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Why is there such a negative connotation towards change on the far right? Like, what is so bad about changing?
Well, I mean,
you've seen Star Trek and Star Wars. There's some pretty cool stuff in the future.
You always explain that to me well, in that it's in the name.
Well, yeah, they want to conserve their way of life, but can't they see their way of life is stupid?
Well, yeah. I mean, there's so much. Yeah, dude. They're just. Can we do an abortion update right now?
Whoa! You got to prep me for an abortion update.
It fits, and I wasn't.
See, I've still got the theme going on in the background.
I wasn't even planning on bringing it up.
You just were having an episode and you randomly like, let's talk about abortion.
Well, no, it kind of flows with the conservatives and what the right is doing.
I think
right
I deleted my abortion sounder.
Abort is what it sounds like.
Yeah.
If I
Where
remember
is it at? I think I replaced it with Rescue 911.
So I'm rarely on.
So that's what you're getting.
I'm rarely on Facebook anymore, right?
Uh-huh.
But if I want to get like some political input from people, that's the place to go. Because that's all it is now, at least on my feed.
Mm-hmm.
My feed is corrupt. I need to start over. But anyway.
Wait, is it? What do you mean? Is it all?
It's all politics.
But is it all one way leaning?
No, not necessarily.
Okay.
No, not necessarily. It's just, the comments are just so toxic. Anyway, it's not like TikTok comments that make you laugh, But did you see my poll I put up about the bill in Idaho?
Which
there's a bill in Idaho right now to limit abortion. They're doing the same thing that Texas did.
Oh, right.
Which is allowing you to sue someone. Their bill's a little bit different. It's essentially the family members of either parent, mother or father, of the fetus, the family of the mother or father. Okay,
right.
So like the grandparents, aunts and uncles, could sue the woman who gets an abortion.
Mm-hmm.
This brings up an interesting point because they put not only is it kind of gross anyway and fucked up, but they put in language saying that if you are a rapist, you don't get to sue. Okay? Great. Cool. Thanks for the language. However, that brings up an interesting point, which is what about the rapist's mother and father and siblings?
Mm-hmm.
So they asked in their legislature, they're back and forth, allows them to ask questions of the sponsor of the bill. Mm-hmm. And so one of them asked, we understand that the rapist can't sue if the woman gets an abortion that's from a pregnancy caused by the rape. But what about the rapist's family? Could they sue?
Oh.
And the guy answered yes.
Huh.
So a man can rape a woman. He might not get away with it. Let's be honest, he might. But let's pretend like he doesn't. Okay?
Right.
Woman gets pregnant, gets an abortion. According to the language in this bill, the rapist's parents and siblings could sue the woman each separately for $20,000 each for getting an abortion.
Huh.
The same for incest. And I thought to myself, no one really believes that, right? Like, no one really thinks that the rapist's family should be able to sue.
They probably do.
I mean, there might be some, which is why I put the poll on Facebook. They're not going to show themselves, though. But my point in thinking this was, if you were that legislator who supported this bill, and someone stood up and say, "Hey, I know you're not going to let the rapist sue, but are you saying that you would allow the family?" You wouldn't answer in the affirmative. Be like, you know what? Let's pause. You brought up a good point. Let's go ahead and edit.
Hadn't thought of
let's
that.
edit the bill. Because we wouldn't want that. That would be pretty weird. I mean, it's already weird anyway. Like, you got an abortion, you owe me $20,000. It's just weird.
I'm
But
gonna get predatory about that. Just go around suing people.
well, Texas is even worse, honestly, because they're just
$20,000.
you can sue for $10,000, but you don't have to have any relation. You just have to have like.
It's like, you look like you had an abortion yesterday.
Or
You look aborted. You look
like
especially
You
aborted.
look like a nurse who works at an abortion clinic part-time.
You
I'm
look
suing
like
you.
someone who's driven by an abortion clinic before. And
Yeah. It's $10,000.
speaking of abortions, the Good Liars, one of my favorite TikToks.
Yes.
They went to a anti-abortion rally, and they posed. They found a bunch of people that say, big signs that say "choose adoption." One of my favorite.
To adopt. I'd love to adopt. We weren't able to.
I saw the sign, choose adoption. Yeah. And how many children have you adopted?
Not able to adopt. I'd love to adopt.
Why
We
not?
weren't able to.
Yeah, I am wondering about that.
How many children have you adopted?
None.
I have two of my own. Yeah.
And how many children have you adopted?
None.
And how many children have you adopted?
Two of my own.
But so you've adopted?
I have two of my own. I don't have
That's such a political answer. How many of you adopt? I have two of my own.
Okay. I saw the sign.
Which is actually, when you're talking about adoption, by the way, that's a really insulting, horrifying way to refer to having children biologically.
Yeah, there's two bodies there.
What does
Not
this
one.
one's my
And
favorite.
it's not my body, my choice. It's care for the child. There's adoption. There's other routes to go.
And what do you say to people out there that say that they don't want to get the COVID vaccine?
If the my body, my choice works for abortion, why doesn't the same work for the vaccine? If it's my body, it should be my choice of whether or not I want to vaccinate.
What message would you have for women?
I swear these people have not looked up irony in the dictionary
No,
before.
No.
Anyway, sorry. What were you saying?
I can't remember now.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you want to rewind and look?
No, we were talking about the Good Liars going to adoption.
Oh yeah.
I was saying that by when someone asks you, albeit in a gotcha way, how many kids have you adopted?
Right.
They don't know that it's a gotcha moment, right? Well, maybe some of them did. But to refer to the children you've had biologically and say, no, but I have two of my own, it really implies a really shitty worldview.
Well,
because people who adopt,
look at this
how are you supposed to ask?
Yeah, no kidding, and it's not moving. Me and my adopted son have been waiting quite a while.
But why did you? I didn't even ask.
So is your son a biolage?
I'm not. I don't watch Modern Family. Sorry.
Let's call him a biolage.
I'm not saying that you shouldn't ever refer to them as, well, maybe I am. Maybe I am saying you should never say your own. That's because adoptive parents.
It does come off from these, especially from these four old biddies in this video.
Yeah.
Oh no, I have my own.
Yeah. No, but adoptive parents, the children they've adopted are their own. They're the
Right.
parents.
Right.
Like, so to imply that they're not, if you were to adopt a child, they're not your own.
Right. Somebody
I
else's,
mean, maybe I'm
guess.
getting hung up on the semantics, but
I want to know
it just implies something.
why
mean.
that woman. She needs to finish that. Oh, I can't adopt. I'm a registered sex offender.
Right? Yeah. Who says I can't? I can't adopt.
I can't.
I can tell you why. Because it costs like $40,000.
I have too many cats already.
Right. It's stupid. You gotta. When there are women who are willing to place their baby for adoption, these people have to pay. It seems like a really black market, crooked way of doing things.
Well, most things are.
Yeah.
Most things are.
You got to pay for a child.
Oh, speaking of child and children and sex offenders, that is good episode here. Anyway,
depends on who you're talking about.
I don't know. Maybe you've heard this story. It's back from I think 2016, but I just stumbled upon it on TikTok I think today, and okay, yeah, I'm just going to start playing.
Is considering whether to charge the owner of the Blue Cove Hideaway in McMinn County after a drowning occurred there over the weekend.
This is the second drowning at the same place in the past year. Stephanie Sanastasi joins us now live to tell us what the owner has to say. Stephanie.
Calvin, Latricia, this right here is the wooden plank where the owners say a 25-year-old location, unsafe, and
basically the story is this guy owns a plank that he can jump into the river, and people have died there a couple times.
A plank? Like a walk the plank?
Yeah,
plank?
It's a giant diving board.
Okay.
Into
a river.
A lake.
A lake.
A river, like ravine sort of thing.
Okay.
None of that's important, really. What is important is I want you to take a look at this man here who is the owner. I guess I can just let me just send you a screenshot real quick of this guy. And so everyone can, see what he looks like. Come on, computer. Do your thing. Compute, computer.
While you're doing that, you played that clip.
Yeah.
Why did that reporter need to be live?
Oh, I think about that all the time. You know what's even weirder is they always do it on the radio too. They're like live from City Hall, and then there's no why. Why are you there?
Live?
Live from
Nothing
Johnson's
live is
grocery stores. Grocery prices have gone up. I'm here live at Johnson's grocery store in front for no reason whatsoever.
Like you could record it ahead of time.
I know, it's so stupid.
Unless something is happening in the moment, and you must go live, right?
Right. So there's the guy, okay?
Okay.
And he's about to defend himself here. I just wanted you to see him before I play this clip.
Hang on just a sec. Let me bring it down. Okay.
Just to get a sense of what he looks like.
All right, here we go. He should be on the screen now.
Okay.
Okay.
So, oops.
This is the owner of the plank.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the owner, Charles Womack, says he's not going anywhere.
I'm just trying to help these high school kids and college kids because they ain't got no money.
The last drowning happened exactly 1 year and 10 days from the one here on Sunday.
You've got to play a clip.
But Womack says
a Family
he's not
Guy
changing.
It's freaking.
It's the exact same voice.
Mr. Herbert, man.
That's the same voice.
And if you've never seen Family Guy, what makes this clip even better is the context and what he says.
He wants to shut it down, but the owner, Charles Womack, says he's not going anywhere.
I'm just trying to help these high school kids and college kids because they ain't got no money.
The last
waiting for the S's to.
So
I'm looking at this guy's picture, and honestly, if you should have asked me to predict a voice, because the voice I would have predicted would have been like a bellowing.
They got these kids down here, and I think they've got plenty. They don't have any money, and I just want to help them.
I ain't got no money. I got the goddamn plank, and they're just gonna jump off the plank. I mean, that was the voice I was expecting.
Right? That's the voice everyone was expecting.
I mean, someone should be like, "Hey, sir, don't do this interview. Just don't do it."
Is this your real voice, sir?
He purposely makes
it's like girls are a different species or something.
Oh, who needs them? You like popsicles?
Well, sure.
Then you need to come on down to the cellar. I got a whole freezer full
This
of
guy
popsicles.
must do that voice. It's the exact same voice. That's amazing.
Oh, man.
Wow.
No.
Wow.
The guy who does the voice is actually the same guy who does who used to do Cleveland's voice, but because he's not a 80-year-old child molester, he's not allowed to do the voice anymore.
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
I see what you did there. In order to be a voice performer now, you must match the I don't know what the
Well, speaking of voice performers.
trying to say.
Have you heard of Post Malone? Do you know who this guy is?
Yeah. Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
He lives near us.
Well, he has a house near us.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, a lot of celebrities have houses here. I don't know how many
Morgan.
of them
Actually,
actually.
is it Morgan or Mountain Green?
Who? Post
Post
Malone?
Malone.
I don't know. It's somewhere up one of the It's literally a bunker. Like it's a
Right.
doomsday sort of
I
situation.
mean, Mountain Green's like
right.
There's like 200 people who live there.
Now, this may only matter to me because I like guitars. And, you know, I don't know that Post Malone is known for being...
Does he play the guitar?
I guess.
Okay.
But so do I, and, you know, I've been playing for 15 years, and I'm not very good. You know, what's really annoying is when you tell people that, and they're like, oh, come on, man, you're... And you're like, no, I'm serious. I should be way better, like, for as much as I play. Anyway, so he's up here helping some Camp Hope or something.
Okay.
And he donated a guitar, and he signed it.
Is it a Fender? It's like a Squire?
It's a Squire. Okay?
Yes.
Now, look. I appreciate that he donated this guitar to auction, and you know whoever buys it is going to be doing it for charity and not to play it.
I mean, I think some people might not know what a Squire is. I think even if you're not a guitarist, you might have heard of a Squire. A Squire is a $100 guitar.
Correct.
That is made by quote unquote Fender.
But he's, you know, hey, yeah, I live in this $35 million house, but I'll donate this $50 eBay guitar made in Afghanistan or something.
Right. Well, that reminds me of the guitar I had that was signed.
Oh, oh,
it was Good Charlotte.
Did you really?
Yeah, I know I've told you this story.
I probably.
I was working for the radio.
That's funny.
And they donated a signed guitar to the radio. And this was right when I was starting to play guitar.
Right.
And they had signed it. And it was, I mean, the thing gave you splinters, okay?
Yeah, they do.
I don't know what kind of guitar it was. It was like, I think it was like 2 initials, like a TA or something.
Right,
something
right,
like that.
right.
Just a piece of shit.
There is another. There's, because this is Squire by Fender.
Right.
There's like one band below that's like Johnson's guitar by Squire by Fender. Like
by Squire by Fender. Anyway, yeah, my boss knew that I was playing the guitar though.
Uh-huh.
And she was the promotions director and she didn't know what to do with it.
Right.
Like we could give it away. It was a radio station.
Right.
But she was on her way out. She didn't really care. And so she texted me like, hey, if that guitar's not there tomorrow, I don't really care. So I went and got it.
Huh.
And I played it. And, you know, I was like, this thing sucks.
Well, it was signed by Good Charlotte. The powers of their signatures sort of infused.
No, and you know this. I really don't like Good Charlotte.
Their main guitarist is actually pretty good.
I'm not saying they're poor musicians.
Whoa. Let's not get crazy here.
I just don't
say they're bad. They're good musicians. The brothers are not. They're not. The other two guys are pretty good.
Whatever.
And the drummer is just a touring drummer.
They had a shtick and it worked for them. Good for them, right? However, I wanted a guitar that played.
Right.
I didn't want a signed guitar. I didn't care that it was signed. So I got some nail polish remover and erased it off the guitar and took it to Guitar Center and traded it.
You could have, at the very least, you could have taken that signed guitar and sold it to one of those guitar shops for. They gave you $100.
But
and bought a better $100 guitar.
I have no, certificate of authenticity here. It was just signed in a box. It was no.
All right.
There was no proof, right? Which it makes a really good point that we should start doing that shit.
What?
Saying that I have a guitar signed by Billy Joe Armstrong. Like, I'm sure that happens. How do you prove it?
There's experts.
Have
you never seen Pawn Stars?
Yeah, I got a guy. Oh man.
The Q. Normally they it goes to this one, but this particular one, it just looks like their hand. This is fake. This is bullshit. Get it out of here.
There's no way that this is Trump's signature because this is not a Sharpie.
That's actually
that's totally accurate.
Probably pretty accurate.
Oh, anyway, yeah, I thought I told you that.
Because his pens. Did we talk about this?
Yeah, he always uses Sharpie.
No, but on eBay, because you get your set of presidential pens.
Yeah.
That each president does with your name and everything.
Right.
And his were all full on Sharpies. Not Sharpie pens.
No, not
not
the fine one you could write in a journal with. These are felt tip.
I just see him like Sharpie in his fist. Donald. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
Well, no, you can because you can imagine he did it on that giant piece. Remember Sharpie Gate?
Yeah, I do.
When he drew a line of destruction from the hurricane that was much bigger than the actual.
That line stopped the hurricane dead in his tracks. He has that kind of power.
Oh, it's so nice that he's gone.
I belong to a group on Facebook.
That's hilarious, man.
I was gonna.
I have no idea.
I don't know. I was gonna go somewhere dark with it or something. Belong to a group on Facebook that kind of kills puppies on the weekend. But anyway, in addition to that,
beside the point, I was talking to a guy who's in the group.
No, I collect. They're called Gemini jets. They're scaled models. They're not here because they're all at work. Airplanes.
Yes.
And one of the hot items right now is back like in 2010 or something. They made Trump's plane. His his 757.
Okay, yeah.
And it's going for like $350, $500 if you can find it. There's not a. That's kind of how they do limited runs.
Do
they
you
don't
have one?
No.
So that's the same. You should get it, and you should wipe the Trump off of it.
There's people on this group that are looking for it, and I saw someone's selling one. I was like, man, I want to buy this and just make a video of me
painting Obama over it.
No, I'll just take your bottle of
nail polish
remover.
Just wipe it off, and then and then I traded it in Guitar Center. That's what you would do. Go to a hobby shop, be like, how much for this blank?
The Trump plane?
This blank plane.
Take the Trump plane to Guitar Center?
No, to a hobby shop.
What are you giving me for this? It doesn't play anything.
You can melt it down and make some strings or something.
Oh, man. So, before, one other interesting bit of news. So, we're pretty open about our medications and stuff we take on here,
Yeah.
For the last, how long have I been divorced? 5, 6 years. I've been taking sertraline. It's Zoloft.
Zoloft. Sure.
And at one point I was taking 100 milligrams, and then I was like, Doc, I just what else? And he's like, well, here's 200 milligrams. So, which is pretty much the max you can do a day.
I'm not supposed to do this.
It literally kind of wipes everything, your emotions away. And in addition to that, there are so many other side effects that Zoloft has. Basically, if you're taking Zoloft and you notice something weird, Google that and Zoloft, and it's a side effect.
Right.
Restless leg syndrome, dry mouth, losing your taste buds, not getting a boner. So I'm just kind of burnt out on these side effects, and I wanted to see what it looked like on the other side.
Right.
So about a month ago, I didn't quit, cold.
No, don't do that.
Started
if you're listening, don't do that.
Yeah, don't. For 1 week, I took a pill and a half because it's 2 pills a day. And then the next week, I just was down to 1. And then I was down to a half. And then, and then I'm done completely. I've been off of it
with your doctor's approval.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't do this on your own.
Yeah, sure. Anyway.
I'm serious.
Yes.
It'll fuck you up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm here to talk about. So, the good news is those side effects, for the most part, they're basically gone. I used to be up in the middle, with restless leg syndrome. It was so annoying. It was the most annoying thing ever, and it's kind of gone. Things taste better, which is kind of weird. But one thing that has started happening, and I actually can't find much evidence online to support my theory, but I've noticed that my emotions have gone extreme in like every way.
Right.
And what kind of made me think about this was our guys' night was that last week, the week before? I laughed so hard at things that night that I was sore the next day. My back was sore. I kind of felt like I'd thrown out my back.
That was fun. He was on the ground multiple times laughing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And in addition to that, I used to take Adderall, and for those of you that don't know about how Adderall works, is if you actually have ADD, it's
like a miracle.
Well, yeah, it makes I don't know how to explain it, but it's essentially meth. So it will make you hyper, but it doesn't. If you have ADD, it puts you over this loop and over the
Helps you
edge,
focus.
and you are like normal.
Right.
But if you don't have ADD, then it just makes you jittery
you're up for 3 days.
And you don't focus as much as you just are like, okay, I'm going to start this, and you start a project, and then your brain's like, oh, that's cool, I want to do this, and then this, and like 2 hours later, you're on your 6th project, and you haven't even touched the first one yet, and that's when I kind of eventually realized, I don't think I have ADD. I don't think I need to take this, and so I stopped taking it.
Right.
And but that's how I was feeling, or I have been feeling, since I got off of it, and I think that it might be some weird form of anxiety, but I'm not sure. So there's that. There's the laughing, and then like when I'm in a good mood, I'm in like a way too good of a mood.
Yeah.
I did have one day where I was kind of down, but it wasn't that bad. But I also what was I gonna say? Forgetful? No.
Well, the reason that you can't find anything on that is because that is the effect. It's not a side effect.
Oh, I remember the other thing.
That's what they're supposed to do.
My nostalgia. So, or we've talked about this before about how certain music can trigger an emotion, and that happens to me a lot. But for on the drive home the other day, you would have seemed like my dog just died or something. And so I was listening to this. It was just a theme song from Star Trek, and I'm just crying, and I'm like, I don't know what's happening. I'm not sad. I don't know why.
That's what happens. You got to picture your emotions like a sine curve, right? There's up and down, and what Zoloft and other antidepressants or mood stabilizers might do is they just bring those wave crests closer to the center, so you don't get too down, but you also don't get crazy happy.
Well, I do remember my doctor asking me at one point, like, do you feel anything? And I was like, I don't know.
Yeah,
And I guess I just didn't realize that I wasn't feeling anything.
Which should be a red flag not a red flag necessarily, because it's not necessarily a bad thing to feel kind of numb, because some people who have depression or even bipolar, when they go low, it's suicidal, right?
Right.
So I would rather feel kind of numb all of the time than risk that low some of the time. But everybody I should say normal, everyone who's not on a SSRI or a tricyclic is going to have those waves still, ups and downs. It's just that for people who are depressed like me, or who have bipolar, the ups and downs not on medication are just higher and lower than they should be.
And I think maybe just not having experienced that for the past 5 years is kind of...
It happened to me years ago. I was on, I think I was Effexor, and I think I was on too high of a dose. Same thing, I was really numb, and I didn't like it. And I went off, and same thing. I was like, Ode to Joy would come on a radio, and I'd cry.
Yeah,
and then
and I found myself getting angry about something that... I can't even remember what it was, but I had to walk outside. I was so mad at work. Like, I don't even remember why. It was something stupid.
Yeah. No, it's true. It is. I've thought. Right now I'm on Prozac and I take Klonopin for anxiety. I think I've told you before on the show. I have, like, every couple months I wake up
horny.
Yes. It's just once every couple months is all. No, I wake up in the middle of the night with like severe anxiety that is presenting physically.
Yeah,
it makes me throw up.
Yeah.
I had that the other night. I just, out of nowhere, just wake up and, like I'm like sweating and cold but hot, and I'm like, I gotta go throw up. I don't know why. I wasn't sick. It wasn't food poisoning.
Did you eat too much Taco Bell or something?
No. I didn't even I didn't even have that much to throw up. I just knew I needed to.
Oh, that's the worst.
And just
you freaking give yourselves the dry heaves and then
Yeah.
blow out all the blood vessels in your
yeah.
face.
So I did. I'm still sore, like in my chest
Yeah, man.
from heaving. Luckily, there was something to come up. But anytime you throw up, it releases all these endorphins.
That's
and you
why
feel
I
great.
eat so much. I always want to make sure that if I throw up, it's not the dry. People are like, Spencer, slow down. You don't need 6 hamburgers. I'm like, look, there's a good chance I'm going to barf later.
Right.
I want to be prepared.
Oh man, I'm tired of it though. I'm sick of that happening. It's really annoying.
Yeah. Freaking medications, man. It's just I don't know, anxiety. But there's good reason.
No, I mean I've had this conversation with a lot of different people who are medicated and are sick of it.
Right.
And it usually boils down to some form of, well, you can either feel kind of numb all the time, or you can swing down into these crazy lows where you're suicidal or where you just don't want to do anything. That's really, unfortunately, the state of our medicine. That's kind of your only options. You should probably be in therapy, talking stuff out. You can mess with
good
dosage.
luck with that, man. Therapy is such a joke right now.
No, it's true.
It's so expensive. It's so there's no therapists.
Well, people are realizing that it works. Is what's happening
Right.
for the first time in human history. People are realizing that what psychologists have been saying for 500 years is actually true. That you should talk about things and get some help. I called my EAP just the other day, and the only therapist who responded was an hour away in Mill Creek.
Serious?
Yeah. So I sent a message to one here in Ogden, and they just text me back. We have nothing.
I know there's a
Not-
huge
you can get the wait list.
Do you not have a degree in that? Could you not go be a therapist?
No, I have a bachelor's.
You're an
degree.
asshole.
I have a bachelor's degree in psychology. I get to have a master's degree.
Yeah. There's
So-
all these shortages. There's pilot shortages, and
Should be a pilot therapist.
And
Make a
there's
killing.
no, you would not. That's actually a huge. We could talk about that some other day. Maybe we already have about medication and depression and pilots, and how they're not allowed to take anything.
Real. Oh.
And
yeah. So they have to fake. They have to sneak it when they do.
Some do. So it's
okay. Listen,
it's a thing. It's a big thing, and
that's
it's
due to
hotly
ignorance.
debated. But
that's ignorance. I would much rather have a medicated pilot than one who's on the edge and about to lose his fucking mind.
Yeah, I mean the argument is, I get it, but then I absolutely don't get it at all, because ideally you want a pilot that doesn't have any issues at all, but
Right.
that's not going to happen, especially now when you need pilots.
But that's the thing. Like I remember on TV shows, was it a TV show where they found out that the president was on like Xanax or something, and it was like this big thing on the TV show. I'm like,
right.
I would kind of hope that the president takes a Xanax now and then.
Well, yeah,
because you do some irrational shit when you're anxious and ready to. You know what I mean?
Also, one of the biggest things for me, and I think the biggest things for the FAA is the initial side effects may cause you to be suicidal, and but the difference is, and I think there's a different level of depression. There's the depression where you want to kill yourself. And there's the depression that's so bad that you think life's not worth living for everyone.
For anyone, right.
And that has happened. It's
Sure.
happened a couple of years ago on that I think it was German plane that he just flew into a mountain.
Right.
And
that it should be noted, though, that the risk of suicide when starting to take antidepressants is really only noted in youth. In young adults, right? It's not once you get past like 21, 22. It's not.
I didn't have anything when I started or went off. Nothing like that.
It's a strange phenomenon in depressed kids and young adults that sometimes when they start antidepressants, and I don't know if this is still the case, but I had a professor who explained it to us. There's a thing called psychomotor retardation where you're so depressed that you can't move.
Did you just cancel yourself?
Yeah. It's where you're so depressed you feel like you just can't move.
Uh-huh.
Like you're it's almost like you're having a somatic response. You can't move. And so what the pills do is they take you out of that level, but just up enough to where you feel like you could do something, and that something is suicide. That's the explanation I got in college anyway.
I have that when I eat too much cheese pizza from Little
I get that
Caesars.
from depression and anxiety.
I can't move.
Yeah. I feel like I sometimes am just stuck in like my office chair. Feel like I can't move.
Yeah, I can see that.
But yeah, it's whatever.
So, cheerier topics. I sent you a Facebook link. Did it pull up?
Yeah.
What does it say?
Psychopath. A Russian model who had criticized Vladimir Putin has reportedly been found dead with her body stuffed inside a suitcase.
Okay,
Lord,
so
man.
now before you click on the link, all right, what do you think that on this article?
Okay.
It's from Fox 13 News, a local news
It's
station.
local, Utah News.
Yeah,
Okay.
and just because it says Fox does not mean it's associated with Fox News. The national cable news network. That's not how that works. So this is Fox 13 Utah, which in my opinion leans a little left than KSL at least,
Sure.
which does the church's bidding.
Yeah.
So you read that, and what is your thought on, before you read anything else, just that headline? What do you think?
I think that she called him a psychopath at some point. And then he had her killed.
Great. Now go ahead and click on
Okay.
it. And start to read the story here. A Russian model who called Putin a psychopath has been found dead inside a suitcase. Russian media reports. Hey. Oh, she's hot. The finding of the body of the truck on a car on Sunday. She went missing a year ago. And the incidents don't appear to be linked.
She had like an outburst on social media against Putin.
Yeah, and her boyfriend killed her. It has nothing to do with Putin at all.
Really?
Yeah.
That's incredibly disappointing.
Yeah.
I'm so sick of this shit.
So
I'm so sick of these headlines that do that.
Yeah. So this made me really, really mad. You know that I want Putin to be Gaddafi'd. You know?
Right.
You know I hate him. I think he's a total trash bag, Hitler-esque.
Whoa. Bird just flew through here. Are we sure that was one of yours?
Oh, anyway. And yeah, her boyfriend admitted to the killing, and it has nothing to do with Putin. Putin didn't do it. But
it's a picture of Putin.
It's a menacing picture of Putin in a chair. Russian model who blasted Putin found dead in a suitcase.
It's
so
not a picture
automatically
of the
your brain
murderer.
is. And during this whole time of Ukraine and everything, you're like, oh, Putin found a descender. And this is before Ukraine that this incident happened. So obviously it wasn't about Ukraine. But, that's the hot topic right now. But what's most discouraging, I'm going to go take care of this bird. He wants another room.
These comments?
Is the comments.
I had the first comment here. Boyfriend agrees to take blame for her death in lieu of getting killed himself so Putin doesn't get blamed.
Yeah, maybe.
There are some people who say, look, boyfriend admitted to killing her, so why is this even news here? Yeah, which is what should be. This stuff pisses me off. Seriously, this headline has nothing to do with Putin other than she criticized him at one point. But it's a picture of his face, Putin's face, with the word psychopath, because that's what she called him. But it has nothing to do with that.
Now, there are lots of comments on her. A good majority of comments that are like, what the hell, Fox?
Good.
What the hell are you doing?
Look at this.
But the ones that are most concerning to me are the ones that clearly didn't read the article at all and are just like...
Like this one. Why do keep letting him win and kill and destroy?
Right.
Angry emoji, sad emoji.
Now... Obviously, the reason this isn't getting, pulled down or anything or retracted is because everyone hates Putin. And, fine, whatever. But this is still propaganda. This is still misinformation. And this just goes to show how easy it is to sway an opinion.
It's just headlines.
Of all these people.
Yeah, remember that AI that we had a while back, like a year ago, that Elon was invested in, and he pulled the plug because it was too dangerous.
Right.
That AI was writing entire articles based on a few keywords that you could type in, right?
Right.
Like you could type in like what do we have on the desk? A Sprite, microphone, iPhone, and it would write a whole article that could be as incendiary as you wanted.
Putin has been drinking Sprite, and as a result, has been killing people and putting them in briefcases.
Sprite is funding
Damn
Putin's-
Sprite.
Yeah.
Coca-Cola is the true power behind all of this.
But what this shows us is that you don't even need that AI.
No.
You just need a headline and a picture.
Right.
Because you can look at all the comments where people don't clearly just read the headline. Like they didn't read. Like this one, this doesn't surprise me. Russia is known by doing this kind of shit. Not looking good, running Russian president.
I mean, look, there are some. Vox 13, a news station, shamelessly uses misleading title to manipulate the public who trust them. I'm just surprised that
like
Vox
this-
13 did this. They're
There's
not
the same
known for
amount-
this.
There's the same amount of disappointment in my mind as there is like, oh, look at all these people who see it. You know? Yeah, come on. You can do
So
better,
that is a
Fox.
great example of misinformation and how easy it is. Putin has to be stopped. I mean, yeah, I agree with all this. Putin has to be stopped. Putin,
Sure.
he probably has done this kind of stuff before.
Probably.
And it has nothing to do with Putin, but, replace this with Joe Biden.
Right.
Right. Russian or American model found dead in suitcase after blasting
criticizing-
Joe Biden on Saturday Night
Right.
Live or something,
Right.
right? And then what do you think happens? All these people are like, "Oh, I told you, Biden. I
Yeah.
told you he would do this. This 89-year-old man, he's out to get us all."
And look at this, 416 shares. Now,
Ugh.
some of those shares might be calling out Fox. Let's say that. But
Probably not.
Probably
though. If you're
not.
sharing it, then you're like, "Look at this crap. Look at this Putin." Which I don't know, but maybe this is what's kind of interesting is this is the kind of stuff that like England or France would have put out during World War II to try to draw us into the war. Right.
Well, I mean, the real question becomes then, how do we stop this?
I don't. Well,
why does Facebook? Okay, let's talk Facebook for a second.
I'm surprised Facebook
So
hasn't
Facebook
flagged this.
Facebook could flag it, right?
Mhm.
So there's one level of responsibility. But at what point is like let me ask you this. Could The Onion intermix real stories with their fake ones?
Kind of have been doing that. Have you noticed?
I haven't noticed. I'm asking you seriously because how far does the First Amendment stretch here in freedom of the press? Are you allowed?
I mean, it's unlimited,
if
right?
you get caught,
as long as it's not slander.
How do you? Could Putin sue for slander here, saying you put my picture?
Yeah, here's what would happen. Yeah, but you do have to appear in court, Putin. So,
let's pretend it
and
wasn't.
when he's there, you put him in cuffs.
Let's pretend
Hey,
it was
you're
Trump.
a war criminal.
Let's pretend it was Trump.
Right.
Could Trump sue for slander or
Oh,
whatever
yeah,
other?
for sure. On this?
On this.
Yeah.
All right.
Don't you think?
I don't know.
I think he could.
That's what I'm asking.
I'm not a lawyer, but it seems like this was a very.
I mean, I think he should be able to.
A very slanderous. I don't know. But I guess I don't know if you can slander or sue someone for just a headline.
That's what I don't know. But it needs to be stopped, though. Is my point.
The
and I don't-
headline is what tells you it all. Like it's
the headline and the photo combination is just ridiculous, right? Even if you take out Putin's photo. Psychopath, a Russian model who had criticized Vladimir Putin, has reportedly been found dead with her body. That sentence, that's one sentence.
Right.
So you would think that the subject of the sentence has to do with the descriptor that they're using here.
Right.
I don't know.
I don't know
English.
how you look at this and think, yeah, this is ethical. This is clearly, this headline is saying exactly what it says. Russian model criticized Putin, found in suitcase dead, clearly by Putin's hand. That is what this headline
People
says.
scroll by saying no need to read. The
Right.
headline summed it up because
It
that's what a
says it
headline's
all.
supposed to do.
It says it all. There's no need to read this story.
A headline is supposed to sum it up.
Part of me hopes that this is like a social experiment.
Well, all it's doing is enraging people at Vladimir Putin, which, like you said,
Like we need more munition to be.
Yeah, you said is like a fine result. But what if it was Joe Biden?
What if it was anybody?
Anybody.
Like
right.
this could ruin someone's life.
Right.
You know, if it's just some guy.
What if someone criticized
manager
us?
at McDonald's?
Yeah, manager at McDonald's who previously criticized the Arctic podcast
found dead. After, like, whoa.
What does that have to do with our show?
God, and people are like, I heard the Arctic podcast kills McDonald's managers that don't serve them ice cream.
Look, obviously, it's easy to link a conspiracy here, right? And be like, well, they got to, like this commenter said, they got to the boyfriend and made him take the fall.
Yeah,
you know?
But that's irrelevant.
It's
you
a conspiracy.
are innocent until proven guilty, except
Right.
in Russia where you're just guilty.
Well, that's just not the story, though.
I
the
know.
story is that she was found dead.
Right.
Right? But you guys are trying to spin the conspiracy. Yeah, there's got to be.
I don't know.
I don't know how to fix this.
I don't know. I'm really surprised that Fox hasn't taken it down or commented on it.
Well, they love this shit. Look at this. We got 416 shares.
But it's so blatant, though, man. It's so blatant.
And I wonder if let's see if they have any, I'm curious if it's sourced from someone else. Nope, by Fox. You know how sometimes it says, like,
right.
from AP or something? Anyway.
That's pretty underhanded for a local news station.
Yeah. That's stupid. That's disappointing.
She was really hot, too. That's even more disappointing.
She was a very pretty person.
She probably, like, would have dated me if I would have. Oh, my God. I was gonna say have her shipped here.
Oh my gosh,
in a suitcase,
dude!
I didn't connect those.
Oh,
good
Lord.
Man. Oh,
what do you mean you didn't connect the two? It's
that's
bad.
Why
it's bad.
That's why I didn't say it. That's why
it's bad on its own.
I know, but that's a Russian bride. You know, that's a thing. They put them in crates.
I don't know if that's a thing.
It's a thing.
All right, fine.
This headline I read said it was a thing.
Oh, man. You might need to cut that out.
I didn't read the article.
Oh, that'll just be on the YouTube version.
What? I saw a Family Guy episode about this.
It has to be true then.
Yeah.
If Seth MacFarlane wrote a musical about it.
I can't think of a time
right.
where Seth MacFarlane has said something and it wasn't true.
That's true.
Actually,
you know, that's fine.
Sorry, I was Googling Family Guy Russian Bride.
Oh, that's okay.
Because I know that there is. She literally comes in a box. Oh, yeah, she does. There it is.
I'm sure a mail order bride thing. I mean, it's weird. That's weird.
This isn't your house. It's my dad's.
I have a package for Stewie Griffin.
Day just starting or ending?
Smack dab in the middle.
Oh, dude, brutal. Well, welcome to the back nine. I can't believe this worked. I'm Stewie. I'm going to be your husband.
Zlata.
We're such each other's forever people. Brian, I'd like you to meet my fiancée that I ordered from the Ukraine.
Oh, Ukraine.
Zlata.
I just Googled how many mail order brides are trafficked. I didn't know what to type in. And the first thing, this is from preventht.org. Human trafficking, prevent HT. Okay. Approximately 100 to 150,000 women. 100,000 to 150,000, not 100 to 100.
This is really broad.
Yeah, the majority of whom come from Asia and Eastern European countries annually advertise themselves as mail order brides. Well, but they're being trafficked by someone else.
I told you.
They're not making the money.
I told you it was a thing.
Well, I know it's a thing. I just didn't, whatever.
Trying to cancel me over here.
Well, I should cancel you for what you said, not for the concept of mail order brides.
Said the R word earlier.
You can take it out of context all you want.
Take your mom out of context. Anyway, misinformation is misinformation was the point of all that.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, so the war.
Yeah.
The Ukrainian war.
At least 900 civilians was the last report I heard.
Okay. So
including 109 children.
My thoughts right now are we really going to just keep letting this happen? And it's pretty clear that we are one Pearl Harbor away from being in World War III. And
it's true. We should really watch our ass end from another enemy. 'Cause that's what happened last time, right? Japan came out of nowhere.
It's gonna be them again. Like, they've been selling us Hondas all these years to get information.
There's a chip in them.
Yeah. All our cars are gonna turn on us. Yeah. I mean, China and
ugly.
Russia are like it for enemy, or I guess North Korea. It could be North Korea. I don't have a lot of faith in them, but anyway. So my question, I guess, is this feels so much like World War II, the build up to World War II. Biden says we're not going, we're not putting boots on the ground there, which I believe is something FDR said.
Yeah.
And why you would ever say that? That just seems like you're opening up yourself for like, yeah, we're gonna actually.
You can't. I feel like every president has learned this at some point. You know, like Obama with the red line,
Right.
With the chemical weapons on Bashar al-Assad, and he certainly crossed. It's like if you put the line out there,
right,
they're gonna cross it just to test you,
right,
and you gain the other hand by being the one doing the testing.
That's true.
You know,
that's true.
Like you gotta. You need to be the one who says, "Are you going to escalate this further?" Right?
Right.
Like, it's like pulling a machine gun out on someone who just pulled a handgun out on you, and saying, "Now it's your turn." It was your turn, then it was my turn. I pulled out a machine gun. Now it's your turn to decide if you want to escalate. But the problem is, we don't know how to do that to Putin.
Right.
I walked through this logically with my dad the other day. I'm not a general. I've never read The Art of War.
Could have fooled me.
I don't. But let's just walk this through its logical, how you predict this would be going, right? So what we've sent is guns and ammunition. We've sent planes to Poland to be in Germany to be stationed there.
Right.
They're not being used in the conflict yet, right? So in your opinion, what's the next step in our support of Ukraine? Besides giving guns and ammunition.
Here's the thing. We're giving them so many weapons. We're giving them tank killers, plane killers. Aren't we basically in the war already? Like, I don't know how Putin doesn't see that and go...
He probably does.
Right.
So, in a way, it's in his court saying, are you going to escalate this? And he keeps doing it. He keeps bombing hospitals, right? And like, maternity wards and children's hospitals. So... After what happens, what would you expect? What's the next step up in our level of support?
Going in with at least planes.
With
There's
planes.
no-fly zone.
The no-fly zone, right? So then you have American fighter jets, or do we give the jets to?
Well, that's where that gets complicated because they can only fly MiGs and
right. And even if it was an American jet. If a Russian MiG is flying up against an F-35, does it matter who the pilot is? If that's an American F-35,
they can't.
Right.
We can't give them jets like that because there's the learning curve. It's not.
But let's just
okay.
Like,
yeah.
If you could,
right?
Would the Russian pilot care?
No, of course not.
No, that's an American
Well,
jet.
it's the same thing. It's like we're giving them the Stinger missiles that blow up tanks easily.
Well, I'll tell you what the spin is.
Right.
I saw this spin from Jen Psaki, Secretary of Press Secretary, right? Someone, I think it was probably someone from Fox, just to piss her off, asked, "You're giving all these weapons and you're calling it defense, but these are clearly offensive weapons." And it's like, well, that's a stupid fucking question.
Yeah, this is pretty dumb.
You know? No, I mean, like a javelin, tank buster. No, that's defensive, right? There's a tank in my neighborhood.
They're not using them to attack Russia. They're still defending themselves.
Right. And that was her point. Like we're giving these weapons to like farmers,
right,
to protect their homes, and then there are some weapons that are, I guess, offensive as you pull the trigger, but defensive in nature, right? Like a tank buster or something that shoots down a helicopter.
So the point being is
that's still
they're
defense.
using them to defend themselves because they don't want to go into Moscow and take over Russia.
Well, we'll never get into Moscow.
Yeah.
You know, like Ukraine has no air defense. Well, they have limited air defense, right? You can imagine what Moscow's air defense is.
I don't know, man. This whole thing is kind of Russia has been touting that they have the second biggest military, and they are getting rolled over.
No, but we have
by nothing.
But we have to assume
they're getting rolled over by Molotov cocktails and farmers.
But we have to assume that they're stronger than we think they are until we have really strong evidence, right?
Right.
We have to assume that they have nuclear weapons that they're capable. Putin said yesterday that he's fired some of those hypersonics.
Yeah.
And cruise missiles. Like he's like, yeah, we're using them.
But for why? For what? What's
well, no one knows what the fuck this guy
stupid,
wants,
man.
right? But he's said he's using them. But the question is, okay, so planes, right? All right, well that puts then as a commander in chief, you have to decide. But those are American soldiers. Do I put American lives on the line? And I'm not saying I have an opinion here. I'm saying, but do you put American lives on the line for a Ukrainian-Russian conflict?
I do. If I wasn't so fat right now, I'd enlist. I'm like, that's how pissed off I am about this.
So you can go to the Ukrainian embassy, right?
Did you not hear where I said I get winded
I'm not
going
talking
up the
about you.
stairs?
Yeah. I'm not talking about you, but there have been lines at the Ukrainian embassy.
I know. Our idea of shipping all
yeah.
the bloodthirsty people,
Right.
someone stole it. But anyway,
so
but what I'm saying is, if this isn't the most valid reason we've had to go to war in the last 70 years, I don't know what is. I mean, Nam, Korea, both Afghanistan and Iraq, sure, but those were not
Iraq, Afghanistan-ish
for a minute,
to get rid of Al Qaeda. Yeah,
but what I'm saying is, this is akin to the Holocaust, to the atrocities that Putin has become a war criminal. He is,
Yep.
If this isn't a justified reason to use our military, the biggest military in the world, to go help somebody, then I don't know what is.
Well,
is it because there's no oil? There's no plus side for us there?
I mean, it depends on how cynical you want to get. But even the least cynical side of you would say our military is for our defense. Right?
Yeah.
And the defense of our allies who protect us. Right? Which brings up the whole NATO thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then we wonder what's going to happen when he does bomb Poland. Then everybody has to get involved if they abide by the treaty.
That's what I mean. We're one Pearl Harbor away, and Poland is going to be that Pearl Harbor.
Right.
And then let's just get into it now.
Well, that's the game of chicken.
We just get into it now before he can take a stronghold in Ukraine.
People have betrayed allies before, including the United States. Remember that Poland was behind the Iron Curtain after World War II.
Yeah.
They were an ally.
Mm-hmm.
And we said, sorry, the Soviets got you. Our bad. Maybe when it all ends, when things calm down, 60 years from now, we'll be okay. So, okay, so that puts American lives in danger. There is one step before putting American lives, which would be like drones for Ukraine.
If you don't think we have drones over there already, then come on.
You could enforce a no-fly zone with a drone. I'm not saying it would be very effective, but you could. They got missiles on them. They're incredibly intelligent. They have pilots.
They're not built for air-to-air combat. They're built from air to terrorists on the ground combat.
Sure, but they could at least attempt to take out a helicopter, or I don't know. I don't know if we have drones over there.
We have drones over there.
What's stopping Russia from shooting them down then?
Because we've got freaking alien technology drones, man.
That's my point, though. Because if we put a drone over there and Russia shoots it down, they're going to brag about it. And he hasn't even lied about that.
That's true.
That's one thing he could lie about immediately. Oh, we got 10. We got
they
10
don't
American
know
drones.
They don't know it's an American drone. You just give it to them, scratch off the
serial
American
number.
flag, put some blue and gold on there, and like, hey, you got it, Ukraine. Somehow Ukrainians made this Lockheed Predator drone. I don't know, or Northrop, whoever makes a Predator drone. Anyway,
so how far would, like, if we follow this to an end, or just to its next step, You send in planes to enforce a no-fly zone. American jets start getting shot down. Russian jets start getting shot down. What next? We would probably win an air assault. We would probably win on those grounds. But is that going to stop Putin from sending more ground troops in?
No, he's but there is the hope that the Russian citizens are going to kind of, take him on a hunting trip and Cheney him.
So I was listening. I like that. I like that. I was listening to NPR and they were talking about the oligarchs that we've sanctioned.
Yeah.
And there's apparently in Russia there's essentially old money and new money, right?
Right.
So the old money are oligarchs who were oligarchs during the Soviet era.
Right.
And the new money are oligarchs who got rich when the communist structure fell and everything had to become capitalist. And when Vladimir Putin took over, he started giving massive contracts to his friends.
Of course.
And military elite, right? Turns out though that it's those ones that they believe will turn on him.
Oh yeah.
First, right?
Of course.
They think that especially the military elite oligarchs, they have a weird name for them. I can't remember.
Dude, have you seen when he's like berating his generals and they just sort of like, "What is this guy?"
Right.
Like what is this?
Yeah.
They just look so tired and like just you can see it in their faces. Like
Right.
it's
This guy's an asshole.
Yeah.
He could have me killed. Right?
Right.
There's a massive amount of groupthink happening in Russia.
There's got to be, right?
Now. Probably both ways. The thing that's scariest to me is not how unhinged Putin is or his inner circle or even the oligarchs. The scary part to me is the amount of police I see on the street in Russia.
Well,
they've arrested like 14,000 protesters.
It's because they have the same problems we do here, except Putin has the ability to shut down everything but Russian Fox News.
Right.
And I mean,
I just don't understand, like, it's just so many. It's so many police officers in the street in Russia. In like St. Petersburg and Moscow, like they're in huge numbers. And so the groupthink has got to be astounding to think what these men go home to their wife and family, wake up the next morning, put on all their gear and their helmets so no one can see their fucking face, and they go arrest 20 more of their neighbors every day.
I mean,
at what point do you, as the police officer, say, "I arrested Bob yesterday"? It's like 1984. It's like Fahrenheit 451. It's like all these books combined where the groupthink is, and we saw it happen in Germany.
I think the biggest difference is I can't imagine you can't just walk away from. It's
Right.
more of isn't it more of a military than a police? Like
yeah,
it's
and you certainly have a threat of death, right?
And-
If you don't show up or if you openly speak out, then you're arrested with your neighbor.
Right.
Which is how groupthink works. Which is what perpetuates it is this outside fear. It's just at what point would you?
Well, that's actually I put that on the rundown here, and my my question is think hard about this question. What would you do as a Russian soldier? And
there's two different groups here, right? There's the police in Russia who are arresting Russian protesters, and then there's the soldiers in Ukraine.
The different one of the bigger differences is the people in Ukraine, the people in Russia, the police in Russia, they're not in Ukraine seeing that everything that Putin's saying is a lie. So the soldiers are there, not being heralded as saviors, being pulled out of their tanks and executed, and so I tried to put myself in the shoes. Like what am I gonna do as a Russian soldier? Because you have some options. Your options are to just keep fighting, following your orders,
Caught on purpose,
using your excuse as the Ukrainians. I don't know that they're taking prisoners anymore.
They have. I mean, I don't know.
There was something on AP yesterday that says they're not taking.
I mean, frankly, they might not have the resources to hold prisoners,
right?
But there have been a lot of videos, don't know the veracity, but of Russian soldiers allegedly,
right,
who Ukrainians let them use their phone to call their mom or something back
Right.
in Russia, right? And they're saying that their mom is like super confused, like, why are you even there? We're being told there's nothing going on, right?
Right.
It is a lot of lying. Like even just on the way over here on the radio, Mariupol, the city that's like got it really bad. They're not letting the citizens out. No ceasefire has worked, and there's just now reporting that they're forcing the Ukrainian citizens of Mariupol into Russia and calling them refugees from the Ukrainian government. Right? So now you have people forced to leave their home. The Russians are being told, we're taking care of these people because they're being persecuted by the Ukrainian government. The people are like, we were just fine. So you do wonder, how long can this hold up?
Right.
Right? In an information age. But that information is so controlled.
Right. So what do you do? A Russian soldier, do you try and surrender? And then you can't go back to Russia, most likely, if you surrender. You'll probably get transcripted to fight against Russia. Transcripted? Is that the right word?
Conscripted.
Conscripted.
Yeah.
Or do you just kind of ease back and do a half-assed job and you know, or do you run? Do you just stay and fight? I don't know what I would do. I think that I would I don't know. I think I would leave. I would leave and go
Just
try to
desert?
surrender to Ukraine or any of those other countries.
It would depend on what level of lying you're aware of.
Right. Well, I mean,
you're told like, hey, this is going to be a training exercise. We're nowhere near the border. And then they're like, hey, I'm pretty sure that mortar just hit someone. No,
Right.
no, this is training. You know, like, I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know.
Tough situation for those guys.
I know the only I personally think the only reason that we're not involved is the nuclear threat.
Oh, that's the only reason.
And
absolutely 100%. Because that when you follow these scenarios to a logical end, that's where it ends.
So
and it's not so much it's not so much a threat to the homeland, right?
It could be.
It could be. But more likely than not, it would be, let's take out the Air Force base military base in Turkey. Let's take out.
But I'm telling you, they trigger any nuclear strikes and they're done. They are done.
Right, but then so are we.
Are we though?
We don't know.
Like
there's too many undefined variables here, right? We don't know what.
I mean, we've got all these countries around Russia, and all of them have anti-missile.
If they can get one into space, right?
Hello, Space Force.
I think I talked to you about this when the Hawaii thing happened on accident. Right? That I was listening to the radio about the air defense system we have in Alaska. That it is no good against more than one decoy.
No, I know that there's issues and there's a good chance we wouldn't get them all. I mean,
right? So,
but again, though, it's Moscow and St. Petersburg and versus everyone else.
Well, and that which brings up the next problem, right?
Right.
Clearly, Putin kind of has a scorched earth policy right now. He doesn't really care,
right,
who he kills. Doesn't care who dies because of him. You know. So then you have post nuclear war with Russia. What then? What is Iran going to do? What's China going to do? What's Korea going to do?
It depends on how we handle Russia.
Right? Like it's the ripple effect of a potential nuclear weapon is really scary, because not only would our allies probably be the closest threat, right? Poland would be the nearest threat.
Right.
But they could certainly get other NATO allies in the area. They could possibly get the UK. They could get into Western Europe, right? Like that's the ripple of just one of those things happening.
I just if Russia launches a nuke and it hits somewhere, do we not retaliate and flatten Russia and flatten Moscow, kill Putin, and then what? What is Iran? Oh yeah, we want to do the same thing.
I don't know.
I mean, like,
that's what people don't know.
That's
why you have to admire the stoicism of leaders who do make these decisions, of generals who are making these calls,
right?
Who are saying, I don't know, because if we do that, then Iran is going to nuke Israel, right? And then Pakistan's going to nuke India. It's just the whole everything's fucked. And that all started with us sending in an F-35. So you have to follow it to its logical end. Unless we could get I don't even know if this would work. Here's a scenario. If we could get every single NATO nation to send 7 planes each at the same time to Ukraine, to get just in Ukraine, to get rid of Russians in Ukraine. No crossing of the border to Russia, just Russians in Ukraine. Every single NATO nation was involved. I don't know. Then Putin has a choice to make. Who do I go after? Right? But if you're Poland or Turkey or Moldova, are you going to be one? Would you sign up? Like, no, man, I'm not fucking doing anything
I
here.
don't know, though, because Ukraine is fighting off Russia.
Yeah.
They're the second biggest military in the world, quote unquote, and they're beating back Russia. So these other countries might be like, oh,
that's true. As
we've got way better stuff than Ukraine has.
As we get more and more intelligence as to the actual might of the Russian military, right? But we're talking about ground troops.
Plus,
I mean, how many jets has Russia actually sent in?
I don't know.
5?
They don't have
6.
Their jets are shitty.
Right?
They have 5th gen jets, but they're like knockoffs.
We're talking. They've got submarines. They've probably have a few aircraft carriers, I would imagine.
Yeah, if they're even floating, they got holes in them. They're patched with like Russian duct tape, which is only half as sticky as American duct tape.
I mean, I think you're onto something with the. Like, Putin already views that as an act of war.
Yeah.
Right? Possibly. So that could be where we're holding. We're holding saying, okay, you want to think of it like that? What are you going to do? Right? You want to think of us giving weapons to Ukraine as an act of war? Ball's in your court. You're gonna shoot us? So it could be, because that's kind of what you do. Right? Unless it's full on war where both sides are dying, that's what you keep tossing the ball back to each other. Saying, no, you got it. You take this where you want to go now, man. You know what we're capable of. You know what I'll do.
I don't know. I just want to this stuff in Ukraine is just, man, it's bumming me out. It's just not should not be happening. It's insane.
No,
it's freaking insane. And the fact that we're allowing it to happen is really starting to bother me. And I get all the but there's got to be something more we can do to stop this freaking psychopath. I mean, can we not assassinate him? Is that so much to ask? He had a freaking Trump rally the other day, and I was like, "What?" And no one assassinated him, and no one assassinated him.
We'd have to take all of his inner circle out,
Sure.
This does bring up an interesting point, though, that I've heard on the radio quite a bit, which is, why do we care so much about this one? Right?
This conflict?
Yeah.
Versus what?
Syria.
Because they don't look like us.
Yeah.
I'm serious. That's what it is. Let me draw this comparison. What the hell? Siri is just activated on my computer.
But you don't feel that way.
No. But I don't, maybe consciously, but I think that there's an element that makes me feel that way. And let me paint this picture for you, okay? So, different comparison, obviously we're not talking about war here, but a couple of years ago, there's a forest fire in California. in Paradise was the name of the city. Wiped the city off the face of the earth, basically. Burnt everything to the ground. Several people died, I believe. I even watched a documentary about it. And at no point was I like, oh, man, I have empathy, but I wasn't, like, worried about it. And then at the beginning of this year, there was a wildfire in Denver. Like, Denver.
Right. Proper. Like
And
Denver proper.
Right.
Yeah, it was weird.
And it took out over 1,000 houses. No one died, luckily. But if you look at the pictures, it looks like Layton. It looks like any town. And I spent a lot of days like, oh, man, thinking about what I would do. Because even though that one thing happened in this far-off land of California, that couldn't happen to me.
Yeah.
Right? But then I see this happening, and I'm like, oh, it could happen to me. And when we see Iraq and Syria, it doesn't look like here. They don't dress like us. They don't eat like us. They don't, they don't look like us. But when you see it happening in Ukraine, and you see these people that look like your neighbors, and they have pets that they're carrying around, and they kind of dress like us, and they have infrastructure like us, then you're like, oh, man, I have a little more empathy for this, because this isn't what we normally see. Throughout our lives, the biggest wars that we've seen have been in Iraq, Afghanistan, Iran, Syria, kind of all similar looking topography, similar looking cities. But now we're looking at a European city, and we're like,
yeah,
this is more familiar to me, and something inside of us is like, this is hitting a little deeper for whatever reason.
Yeah, I mean, I hear you. For me, it honestly doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
For me, the shit that is happening and happened in Syria was just as big a cause for us to intervene as it was here. And we did. We had a bit of a pseudo war with Russia in Syria for like 2 days. Right? But we didn't do anything to take out Assad. We were too scared that it would destabilize more, even though he's dropping barrel bombs and chemical weapons. Right? We have a massive refugee crisis that we have people in the ocean in homemade rafts being ignored that are coming from Syria. But anyone from Ukraine can hop into Poland and have a hot meal.
So why is it that Ukraine is getting more attention media-wise?
I don't know. I think it's because of what you said.
Right. I think so too.
I know that is.
Right.
The question is, when are we going to have a moment of pause and say, why do we treat some people so shitty? Like, it's mothers and kids coming from Syria. It's children coming from Honduras and Guatemala and El Salvador and shitty parts of Mexico. They're the ones coming to our border. Right now, Poland, God bless them, is overloaded. They've taken in, I think, if I remember right, I think they've doubled the population of Warsaw. Like, they've taken in as many people as the normal population of Warsaw. And it's not like Poland's in a great place economically, right? So they're essentially, they're close to shutting things off and saying we can't, because they're doing this the same conversation I just had with you about American lives, right? That's what they're saying. They're like, well, this is now greatly affecting everyday Polish citizens. Right? That now they're like something like 70,000 Ukrainian children are now attending school in Poland, which was like, who the fuck cares about school? But whatever. I understand for the kids, you want to give them some level of normalcy if it's safe. But
a lot of it has to do with the way we've portrayed places like Syria.
Yeah.
In not just the media, but in the broader media, like movies.
Yeah.
Because you don't think about, the guy who's a graphic designer in Iraq, even though they exist. And in fact, if you watch a documentary, or if you watch, go on TikTok and look up street food, or or A Day in Life in Iraq, you kind of realize that it's not really that far off from how we live at all. Really, it's a lot the same.
Right.
But we portrayed it in such a way that it's dusty and full of terrorists, and you gotta. Everyone works in the bazaar and sells rugs.
Let's bring up our old concept, the empathy tree.
Ooh.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so here are the numbers. 3 days ago, the UN estimates there are around 1.85 million internally displaced people inside Ukraine. 3.2 million people have fled. Oh, these are conflicting reports from BBC and PBS. Wow. UN Migration Agency said Friday that nearly 6.5 million people have been displaced inside Ukraine on top of the 3.2 million people who have already fled the country. That means that around a quarter of Ukraine's 44 million people have been forced from their homes. That's insane.
Mm-hmm.
That's insane. Syrian refugee crisis. This is from December. Nearly 5.7 million registered refugees. Registered, including 2.7 million children. In the fiscal year of 2020, 481 refugees from Syria had been admitted to the United States. 481. Poland's taken in almost 2 million.
They're right next door. I mean, you just walk over there. How do you get from Syria to the U.S.?
I'm not saying
what
they
are we
should
supposed to use our massive, mighty military to fly in there and pick them up in airplanes?
And my point is definitely not that this is a U.S. alone problem. I'm talking that this is a white racism problem.
It's true. England has
that. All of a sudden, Europe.
Right. That's why they wanted out of the EU.
Europe, who was cutting shit off. Right. Wanted out of the EU, cutting shit off from the Mediterranean when it's Middle Easterns and North Africans. But white people from the East will double our population. We'll make jobs up. It's really my heart goes out to them. I'm not saying they shouldn't. I'm saying that we should have. Right? And you and I were saying this back then. This is nothing new to you and me in my opinion. I look at the red line Obama drew and I say, you really dropped the fucking ball there, right? You drew that line, he crossed it, and you didn't do a fucking thing. You didn't do anything, which is why Biden isn't drawing any lines.
You know who would have?
Trump.
Donald J. Trump, America's greatest president.
We did have a pseudo war with Russia under his leadership in Syria.
Oh, well, he does pseudo, so.
Yeah. You know why? It's because we're saying Syria. My Siri just came on. So.
Oh.
Anyway.
Hey Syria.
Went to a bad place.
It didn't work.
But it's just something to think about. You have 10 million refugees from one country and 10 million refugees from another. And
can we start a country of refugees?
The only thing that
I've got an idea.
Different is there.
Let's kick out all the Russians. And we can call it Refugians.
Can we do, speaking of this war?
Yeah.
Let's change gears.
Can we go ahead and start calling it World War III?
Yeah, we can.
Yet?
I want to know, you commute a lot.
Yeah, every day.
Let's do some quick math on the show.
Okay.
Because
I've already done the math, and it's $10 more a week.
$10 a week. Okay.
And I did the math because I am so fucking tired of people complaining about gas prices.
Oh my Lord! Thank you.
I actually almost I held it really the other day.
Is this why you had to walk out of work?
No. It was a family event, and people were just complaining about it, and I'm just like, maybe don't drive a freaking truck then.
Yeah, I did see a TikTok about that. It was like, what are you talking about? You're the stupid one who got the gas guzzler. You're really pissed you're not driving a Tesla now. Anyway, I was telling Ashley this. I said, I'm so sick of people complaining, the news, hyping gas prices. Have you ever done the math? It's really not that much fucking money.
In fact, my dad was like, so he messaged me. He's like, dude, do you want me to get you a Sam's Club membership?
So you can save the 20 cents?
He's like, it's normally like 10 cents less there. And I was like, Dad, that will save me
$3.
No, it'll save me like $1. No, it must have been less than that. It was only going to save me like $1 to $2 a fill up. And I was like,
you have a 13-gallon.
That's a 10-gallon tank. That's why the math is really easy in my car.
Yeah.
And I was like, Dad, it's only going to save me like $1, and the membership is $60. And if I fill up once a week, we're actually going to be losing money on
That's
this.
$8 loss. That's an $8 loss.
And he's like, oh, so oh, yeah, wow. I'm like, yeah.
So you're just okay with Biden coming in here and fucking things.
No, it's just
dude,
it's not. We've had gas prices that have been this high before under multiple different presidents. Right. Under Bush, it got this high. Under Obama, it got this high. And you know what? It's not really the politicians' fault. It's the gas companies' fault. It almost always is.
Well, I saw an interview with an executive, and the interviewer asked, "Why not ramp up production right now?" And he essentially said, "Why on earth would I do that?" Like, he basically showed everyone his cards. He's like, why would I ramp up production right now? I can make a killing right now if I don't.
No, that is what always.
And it's because it's a monopoly. It's a monopoly.
What always happens. Hold on, I'm gonna
oil.
play this. I'm gonna airdrop this TikTok here, and I'm gonna play it because it is. Oh my, I've got a lot of options here. It is honestly one of the best takes on gas prices I have ever heard.
I just if you want to talk about the price of something, let's talk about the inflation on bread and milk.
That's true.
Holy shit. It's crazy. Did you airdrop it to the computer? Or
I don't know. Oh, there it is. Okay, it's coming on my computer.
Oh. I'm so glad you said that. Like, not that we disagree on much.
But it's been really bothering me. I'm like,
okay, that's
it was someone had said something on the same day that they hit that Russia hit the apartments or something and the base and 35 people died. I'm like, yeah, man, that $10 a week, but that's 35 people.
Well, and generally, if I may generalize just for a minute, probably the same people complaining about gas prices are the same people who want to send 100,000 troops there.
Right. Because that doesn't use gas at all.
No, it doesn't use.
There's no those
50 gallons of diesel per day per
second. You know how much it costs to fly a C-17?
Right.
It's like $100,000 an hour. Like, it's insane.
Right. Or an F-35.
All you Republicans who are complaining about high gas prices and inflation, I just want to say one thing: get a better paying job. If you can't afford to pay for your own bills, you obviously aren't trying hard enough to get a better paying job. And I don't see why it's the government's responsibility to decrease inflation or even give a flying fuck about the price of gas. I mean, after all, if you were actually trying and weren't trying to be a freeloader, you would have a better paying job. You need to pull yourself up by the bootstraps. Quit asking the government to help get the price of fuel down. Quit asking the government to help get the price of anything down, because you guys believe in free market 110%. So if you can't afford shit, that's just because you're fucking lazy and not trying to get a better paying job.
I love it when they flip the logic like that.
Irony, man. They need to look it up. They just don't get it.
Oh, that's rich. It's actually the TikTok. I'm pretty sure it's the same one I was thinking
Probably,
of. I think I saw in the comments someone like really missing that Tesla now or something. Yeah. Anyway, yeah.
You need to pull yourself up by the bootstraps. You're lazy. You're telling me you can't afford $10 a week? Well, maybe you should stop eating McDonald's for breakfast. I'm like, oh, man.
All right. Before we move on from World War III, one last thing to talk about, and that's China. This headline popped up last week, and I don't know how it's not being talked about more. I think people are scared. Because China warned the U.S. against trying to build what it called a Pacific version of NATO, while declaring that security disputes over Taiwan and Ukraine were not comparable at all. So, China is saying the exact same thing about Taiwan,
Well, that's why China hasn't come out against this,
that-
because they know.
But that's just what Putin said about a week or so before he invaded. That's what I'm saying.
Oh.
And there are a lot of people, obviously, who have predicted that Taiwan is next. But this would be, for sure, this is the point of World War III.
Right.
If China saw the United States and all the NATO allies get all sucked up into a war in Eastern Europe, they're going to be like, let's go fucking take Taiwan right now. Take like an hour. You know?
I think. Might be wrong.
So
they've got a bunch of knockoffs, too.
I don't know how I've seen more headlines about this. They chose this to when to release this statement. Okay? China, you chose March 7th to make this statement on March 7th that, you know, what's happening in Ukraine, not comparable at all to what's happening in Taiwan, but don't even think about creating a Pacific NATO, okay? We'll have a problem.
There's these countries, man. There's like China, Russia, North Korea, and Iran versus everyone else. How does that? How
it's
do they?
just the audacity of.
How does it play out for them in a World War III?
I don't know. It's just the audacity. Like, I understand that America often is the asshole.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Right. However, in the case of Taiwan and the case of Ukraine, where you have, well, Taiwan's not entirely sovereign, right? Ukraine is, but where you have the people who live there asking for one thing. And China and Russia are like, we don't care what you're asking for. You can't do that. It's like, well, who the fuck are you? And then as the United States, you're like, no, if they want our help, I'll lend them a gun. You know, I'll give them a couple guns. And they're like, you do? That's an act of war. Okay. Like, so anyway, that's just the next step here in one of the next steps.
I don't know. China's been awfully weird about all this. They haven't come out against or for, or they say that we're to blame.
Let's travel back in time to pre-World War III talk and podcast where you told me about a documentary you watched about McDonald's ice cream machines.
Oh, we're going that far back, huh?
And how they're always broken.
Yeah, they are. They're always broken.
And I did. I tried to get a shake last week, and sure enough, they said they were out, which I believe was just broken.
Did you try to get a Shamrock Shake? Because apparently there's like a limited number of those.
No.
Supposedly.
No, this was before St. Patty's. I was just trying to get a chocolate shake.
Well, you know, the Shamrock Shake does come out a couple of weeks before St. Patrick's.
All right, listen, I don't know how long ago it was. Either way, you relayed to me what was happening is that the company who owns and repairs the ice cream machines is the only company that McDonald's allows franchisees to use to repair said machines.
Yes.
And that they purposely break things or don't repair them so that they have to be fixed.
Well, it's more that whatever happens is some stupid software thing that only their people can get in and clear.
Okay.
And then they charge them to do that.
You'll love this. The makers of a device that repairs the ice cream machines at McDonald's filed a $900 million lawsuit against the international fast food chain on Tuesday. A small company known as Kitch, Kytch, is suing McDonald's in a Delaware federal court for allegedly despairing it through false advertisement. Kitch brings this action to set the record straight, to vindicate the company's rights under civil law, to curb McDonald's anti-competitive conduct, to recover compensatory and punitive damages, to protect the consuming public from false and misleading advertisements, and to finally fix McDonald's broken soft-serve machines, the company says in the court filing.
Well, if you would have watched that documentary,
it all makes sense.
You would have known about this already, because they do talk about these other companies.
Well, I have a feeling, though, that Kitch started this company. Whoever started Kitch started it for this lawsuit. They're like, this is a no-brainer, antitrust, non-compete, open-close, free market case. If we start a company that can repair the machines, and McDonald's tells its franchisees they can't use us, we just won $1 billion.
Well, so Kitch, yeah, Kitsch.
Oh, here it says it
In
was
the-
founded by Jeremy O'Sullivan and Melissa Nilsson to resolve the issues with McDonald's ice cream machines, which break repeatedly.
Yeah, no. So this software, it's not. It's something that attaches to the machine,
Right.
And it basically overrides it and makes it. And some franchisees started using it, and it worked great.
Right.
And then McDonald's was like, no. Yeah, so that's why they're. Yeah, okay. Yeah,
so
yeah.
Kitsch claims the ice cream machines makers, a company called Taylor,
Right.
have exclusive rights to repair the soft serve machines at McDonald's, which results in a lucrative scheme between the two companies.
Right.
Kitsch also claims Taylor allows its own machines to malfunction or remain finicky for profit.
Yeah.
I love
Watch
this.
the documentary.
I don't need to. I know what's happening. I just love that Kitsch. It seems to me like Kitsch was just started. Like
No, this is
I know,
this
but-
is in the
I know,
documentary.
but I'm like they hired like some software kid. Like, can you write some code? Because once you write this code, a couple years from now, we're going to sue McDonald's.
that could be.
And we're going to make $1 billion.
Yeah, no, that's definitely a possibility.
Oh man! But apparently McDonald's had a campaign against Kitsch, and that's what they were waiting for. Now they can sue.
Yeah.
So
it overrides the Taylor stuff, and it makes it where you can actually fix it on your phone, and it can install to any of their machines. It's a whole. Yeah. It's crazy.
all right, shall we take a break?
I guess.
Okay. when we come back, while we're taking a break, I need you to do something.
Well, I hope it's Find Random Headlines because I haven't done that yet.
I need you to do that, and I need you to add up. Some people may have heard of this already. I need you to add up how many doors you have in your house and how many wheels you have in your house. Okay? And we'll talk about it when we come
Wheels in my house or car?
back. Wheels on your property. Wheels, total wheels, and total doors. Okay?
What? Can I get some? Define wheel.
What?
Like
Define
I've
wheel?
got wheels on my
Yeah,
chair.
they count.
Okay.
Yeah, you got to count those wheels.
All right.
Okay. And random
Okay,
headlines.
that's gonna take a minute.
It's fine. It's fine.
Like, okay. All right.
We interrupt your regularly scheduled program to bring you these random headlines.
Did you count the wheels and doors?
Yes. Oh, yes.
Okay. We always come back from break and don't go right into random headlines. Let's do random headlines and we'll come back to that. So what? Tell me.
Wait.
Tell me your random headlines.
Oh, okay. Great. 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 Let's see. This story out of Australia.
Of course.
A sheep found wandering on an Australian mountain was relieved. The sheep was like, "Oh, thank God you're here. I've got 88 pounds of fleece on me. Please shear it off."
Oh my gosh.
So they took the sheep in, and the sheep was found by a hiker, and he had 40 kilos of wool on him, which is 88 ulbs.
Is this him right here?
Yep, that's the guy.
That's worth at least like, I don't know, $10, $20.
Yeah, I don't know. Do we use a lot of wool?
Oh yeah.
What are you? Are you wearing any wool? Am I wearing wool?
Probably.
I prefer
like suits.
I prefer a poly cotton blend.
Well, like t-shirts, I don't. Yeah, a wool t-shirt, I don't think no. But like suits, or sweaters. And
Right.
yeah.
I don't wear a lot of that stuff because I don't like to be hot.
88 pounds of fleece.
So yeah, he's in
Poor
love
guy.
with some guy named or other sheep named Chloe and Molly.
I wonder. I'm kind of curious how much the sheep weighs without the fur. Fleece. Excuse me.
You know, she's kind of self-conscious, so it doesn't say in here what her actual weight is. She didn't want to get into that.
You think
You know.
it's got to be like, maybe like less than half. I don't know. Doesn't say.
I don't know. What's the average weight of a sheep?
Let's find out.
Man, speaking of diving down rabbit holes, I was watching Cars with my nephew the other day.
Yeah.
What's the deal with that, man?
What are you talking about?
They're cars, but they're alive. Like, and so what is keeping them alive? Do they have like a car brain?
Yeah.
And what gases their blood? But they run out of gas.
Oil is my blood.
Or oil.
I
So
don't
how
know.
do they? What do they have to fill themselves up? Which I
know,
guess we
man.
do. I mean, that's our we eat.
Yeah, we eat.
But what happens? Like, I guess in one of them they get like a colonoscopy up their tailpipe. Do cars get cancer?
I mean, the
do
next
cars
one,
die?
The next one coming out is a virus that infects all the cars.
And if a car dies,
Carvid.
can you if is the engine its brain? And if the car dies, can you take the engine and put it in another car and it's alive?
I don't know.
And then why, when they fly, do they fly in other alive planes?
I don't know.
Have you ever flown in a person that is the shape of an airplane?
I'd rather not say.
I don't know, man.
Hey, will you fix your camera? Look at your angle. Your angle's all...
I don't know what happened.
People don't watch. It's fine. A sheep can weigh between 100 and 350 pounds. It's quite the range. It's like a human. That's basically a human range, right?
Wait, 350 pounds? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Wow. That's
Yeah,
a
it's a big ass sheep.
Big sheep.
Yeah. I mean, maybe that's with 88 pounds of fleece. I don't know.
Arizona, a company named Ceres Therapeutics.
Ceres.
That could be Sears? No, it's Ceres. It's a biotech company and has opened a donor collection facility to collect your poop.
Poop?
Yes.
Your stool.
Your stool.
Interesting.
The company operates Good Nature.
Wait, I've seen ads for this.
What?
On the hub. I'm just kidding. I've seen ads like where they
busty Latinas in your neighborhood. Poop collection.
Where you can like send in a stool sample and they'll analyze it to see I don't know what.
I don't. Oh, I yeah, I know what
Seen
you're talking
those
about. I don't
ones?
know what this is.
I don't think it's these guys.
I haven't actually seen why they do this.
Stock prices at
$1,500 a month.
$7.53. Invest
Oh,
now.
it's looking for healthy adults. I'm out. Everyone has to do their business, so make sure yours does some good. What are they trying to do here? It doesn't freaking say.
Are they making
Oh, it's helped to lead to future developments in gastrointestinal infections.
Makes sense.
So like a fecal transplant, which is a thing.
That is a thing. Or maybe just to look at better probiotics and such.
So, but we all want Tom Brady's. I want a Tom Brady fecal transplant. I think that would change my insides pretty good, right?
Probably.
Because he's like superhuman.
Hey, he's coming back, man. Him and Aaron Rodgers just...
Yeah, who cares about Aaron Rodgers? But Tom Brady.
I mean, you know, I already am not a giant fan of football.
Right.
But what's this dude's name?
Tom Brady?
No. Sorry, other topic. Deshaun?
Oh, yeah, Deshaun Watson.
Deshaun Watson. The NFL needs to just be boycotted for this.
Yeah, I do think it's kind of weird that they're just kind of, I mean...
More than 20 accusers, which is that's
but,
Trump numbers.
But
that's Trump numbers.
He hasn't been indicted on anything. So I don't know.
He's got civil lawsuits, though. Claims that he ejaculated on his massage therapist.
Well, who hasn't?
Forced them to kiss his private parts.
Wow.
They just gave him a guaranteed salary.
I
Who
know.
the fuck in the NFL gets a guaranteed salary? No one gets a guaranteed
quarterbacks
salary.
have been nowadays. It's kind of the new thing, but
this guy could go to prison and still make all the money.
No.
If he goes to prison, is he out?
Well, probably. There's always clauses for that, but what they have done with his contract's kind of devious. His salary next year is only like $6 million or something.
Because he's going to miss half the season.
Because
in court.
We don't know. No. Because if the NFL suspends him, then he'll only lose like $60,000 a game instead of whatever $250 million divided by. See what I'm saying?
All right.
So if his salary was $70 million a year, which is what it'll end up being, like 60. It'll be like 23 or $30 million a year, but they're bumping it down just for this season.
This speaks to another larger problem, right?
Oh yeah.
This guy can come back, Colin Kaepernick, Listen,
Look,
I don't know very much about football.
Do you think there's a good possibility that Kaepernick may just not be a good quarterback? Has anyone ever thought about that?
That's what I don't know. I don't know. Did you watch football when he was playing? It wasn't that long ago.
Yeah, I did.
Was he any good?
He went to the Super Bowl, but it was
Well, fuck, man. That's good.
but it was he was back up that year and kind of coasted on somebody. I don't know.
Hang on. You got to tell me, he was back up that year, but did he play?
Yes, but it wasn't
the majority of games?
No, I don't think so. I'd have to look.
All right. Well, if you were an owner of a football team and you needed a quarterback and your options were Colin Kaepernick or Deshaun Watson.
Well, I would take neither of them because they're both good players.
I don't know. I think it's bullshit. Well, we'll get this sex offender.
They had to save face.
What
the
are you
NFL
talking
did
about?
because they fired the black coach or the black. So they needed. I don't know. The NFL has more money than the government, and they just pretty much do whatever they want.
I think we'll see what we'll see how the Cleveland Browns
What a stupid
franchise
name.
fares through this.
What
a stupid move, if you ask me.
Name. Yeah, they won't be any better than the Cleveland Browns. So, Michigan, a house in Michigan, features an unusual toilet. It's shaped like a throne, like a medieval style wooden throne.
Like the Iron Throne?
No, that would be
That
freaking
would be
cool though.
Fucking awesome.
I never watched Game of Thrones though. Did you watch Game of Thrones?
You've never watched Game of
I can't get into it. I watch it and I'm
Come
like,
on, man.
this is
unbelievable.
I guess I should start that. That's
Yeah,
something to
you
watch.
probably should.
The house listed for $979,000 in Detroit. What is this thing like the size of the Sears Tower?
I think I found it. Is it this one?
Yeah. It's drawing attention online for an unusual feature. A toilet that resembles an actual throne. Why is this drawing attention? Like, just buy it, and if you don't like it, you can take out the
Rip it out.
throne and replace it with another toilet.
Yeah.
Obviously, some mad person was like, you know what? I'd like to be king when I poop. I'm the king of poop.
I want to know where the hole is because it's a really long seat.
Also, what is that thing on top?
You know what that thing is.
What is
I'm just kidding.
like it looks like it's like a suction device to
Oh, yeah, I see you got a candle here. That's nice. Gotta have a candle.
That is a nice feature.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand the way it looks right now. It looks like your legs would have to be like straight, like you're on the toilet and you're just
Yeah, your feet are up. Like that would feel really weird. It's like the anti-squatty potty. It's like your legs would be up.
With a straight leg potty.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
Feel like you're sitting on the floor taking a dump. I don't know, man. I think that's all the random headlines I have.
All right. Well, there's a trend and an argument right now on the internet about. Well, tell me you did the counting. How many wheels are in your house?
Not counting your car.
Yeah.
I didn't count yours.
How many wheels do you think?
And I didn't count anything that's in my shed because I don't really know what's out there.
Okay. Did you count all those? Damn it. All those little wheels?
No.
All right. Well, just give me a broad number.
I can. Do you want to count those each as one or two?
That's two. There's one on each side, isn't
All
there?
right.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, there's. He's got a rail that's holding this curtain up behind me. That is held up by wheels. This is a fascinating argument.
So there's that brings my total to about 106 wheels.
And how many doors? Birdcage doors, cupboard doors.
Oh, I didn't.
Big doors.
Gosh dang it.
Cat doors.
Okay, well now I got to do like a whole bunch of more calculating here. So there's a lot in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Well, those are drawers. You're
Oh,
not
those
counting
are
those.
doors. Okay.
Doors.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
4 on your car.
11, 12, 13, 14, 15. You can catch the hatch as a door. 16, 17, 18, 19. 19.
Here's
maybe,
the debate.
Maybe 20.
The debate is: are there more wheels or doors in the world. And when you think about it,
Is that really a debate?
yes. Because, well, I mean, what do you think?
John, I'd like to talk about this debate, but Ukraine. Let's forget. Let's actually leave all the wars and such. But have you heard about doors and wheels?
Because every time you start thinking about it, something you think you've made up your mind, and then something will pop in. Like you're like, there's definitely more wheels, and then you're like, what about hotels? And you're like, oh, what about cupboards?
Yeah, but for every hotel door, there's potentially 4 wheels. Assuming they drove and didn't rent or didn't
yeah,
get Ubered to the hotel.
But not every hotel is at capacity.
That's true.
So anyway, it's just an interesting debate, and maybe you can think about it for a week and can tell me what you think later. I don't know. There's no answer.
I feel like that was really. I felt like that was building to something a lot more interesting. And
no, it's an interesting debate
no,
because,
yeah,
like
for
I
sure.
said,
Yeah, totally.
You think like what do you think it's wheels?
No, I don't know.
See, now you don't know.
There's probably a dead stalemate, man.
It's exactly equal.
Yeah, that's what's holding the fabric of the universe together. When one wheel dies, a door opens. When God closes the door, he pops a tire.
Oh man, it's amazing. I think you get stuck on one. You're like, for sure it's this, and then something will pop in your mind, and you just argue with yourself, and that's what's happening on the internet. People are arguing about that, and naturally, people who think that wheels are abundant are Trump supporters, and people the doors are abundant are Democrats.
You really gotta have an open mind to
Right.
realize that doors is the correct answer. Clearly,
Well, the real answer in the middle is that there are more windows than anything.
well,
You know, socialism.
I mean, the sky rises have a lot. You know,
Got a
I
lot of
mean,
windows. Got a lot,
that's-
see what I'm saying? Something pops up. Got a lot of windows.
And if there has to be
Got windows on cars.
an infinite balance, like when a building collapses, like when one of the towers fell, did simultaneously.
There were a lot of cars around.
Huh.
Had their doors and tires smashed. So I just brought in a new variable. Deal with that shit.
Wow.
See if you can deal with that.
Did you know that the global deep state may be planning assassination of President Biden when he travels to Europe next week?
I did know that they may be.
That's
the global deep
That's per InfoWars.
I love
of course.
that. The global deep state may be planning. Anyone may be doing anything. There might be a group.
The global deep state may be masturbating simultaneously right now. Weird, but true.
There may be a group that might be planning on bringing Putin over to a United States jail where he will reside.
I heard that Putin and Joe Biden are both robots made by Northrop Grumman.
Makes sense. Cheney's probably involved.
Cheney has always been a robot.
Well, no, doesn't he own one of those?
I don't know.
Northrop or Grumman?
He was the Grumman to the Northrop. They
the
merged.
The Dunder and the Mifflin.
Grumman sounds too much like Grundle.
Or Grumpkin.
Northrop Grundle.
Northrop Grumpkin.
Oh, just change it to Chode. Chode Industries.
Oh. Are you going to do an Onion or InfoWars?
Oh, no.
I see a Spencer edition. Did you just not delete it?
Oh, yeah, that was the one I couldn't get through last week with the assassination of Donnie Phil. I was thinking that we do Onion and InfoWars wrong because we present 2 stories. So if it's we should present one story and then decide if it's either Onion or InfoWars.
I mean,
Wouldn't that make more sense?
I mean, you just completely changed the whole segment that I invented, but that's cool.
I'm not changing it. I'm making it less stupid.
Making it so much better.
Oh, man.
Oh, you can see my screen over there, huh? I was
I
pulling up,
wasn't looking,
I was
though.
pulling up the Onion.
Oh, well, now I already know the answer.
So I did that last time.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe we'll do that next time then.
Secret door in apartment leads to weird hidden room. How is that the headline?
It's not really a secret anymore.
I guess not.
And is that like the one that was behind the mirror? Remember that TikTok?
Yeah.
Really took off there.
Will Short's frustrated that police yet to crack taunting puzzle. Wait. Oh.
Hey, you know what we didn't talk about?
What?
You usually talk about a shirt. You've got one on there for UVU.
Do. This is my completely unlicensed, definitely would get a cease and desist if I sold T-shirt. UVU
This
Aviation
is a Spencer's design. You can see the scary parrot. Actually, no, I'm sorry. This is a pigeon from the podcast, but it's a bird nonetheless.
Yeah.
That I put here. This is Spencer's design, and then you get this on right there. See that?
The Our Take Podcast.
The Our Take Podcast.com.
You know,
we've sold a lot of these.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tons
of them.
Where are all the profits then? Have you?
I rearranged it to my bank.
Ah, I see.
No, these are cool. This is a really light sweatshirt. Like it's a good spring. It's not a fleece.
Right.
You know, it's very light.
I think I contemplated that, but they didn't have my right size.
T-shirt
I'm so
material.
Fat, so I need to lose weight first.
Perfect for spring. I highly recommend it.
No, hoodie season is over.
This is
if
not a
it's
hoodie.
above 40, you shouldn't be
telling you,
wearing
it's
anything.
It's thin like a T-shirt.
It's 36. What the hell's going on?
I
What's
told
this
you it's
weather,
winter.
man?
This is
stupid.
This is even too little for right now.
Are
I'm
you
moving
serious? That is what I wear all. If it's negative 20 degrees, I'm
Have
still
you felt
wearing
this?
that. I have the same kind. Yeah.
You do not wear
Dude,
that.
I've lived
You
in
wear a
Utah for
normal-
16 years. I hate. I don't care. It's what am I supposed to carry around that giant jacket all day?
No, you can wear a normal hoodie that's like normal thickness, not T-shirt thickness.
Why the heater turns on? I'll be fine.
Why do you wear one at all then?
Because I have to freaking blow the snow off my car, and it takes extra long because I blow it. It's I'm just doing like I'm blowing out candles.
Yeah. Well, you got to invest in a real blower. All right? That's the way you get snow off your cars, with a blower.
Oh my gosh! I was watching, or we're done, right?
Yeah, I mean, you can say whatever you have.
No, I was watching or listening to NPR last night on my way home from Lowe's. And this episode brought to you by Lowe's, of course. And they were ending the episode, and they were like talking about the credits. They're like, this episode is produced by Dick Clark and John F. Kennedy and blah, blah, blah. Music is provided by blah, 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 blah. I'm like, should we start doing that?
Yeah, why not?
All right, well, this episode is produced by me and sometimes Bryan and the homeless man that just walked by the house. Music is provided by us as well. Editing is also provided by us. Promotional considerations provided by us. Merchandising. We manage our website and our multimedia and social media.
Yep. To be a guest, you can go to the
You can contact us.
Yep.
Because we do it all.
Yeah.
And if you'd like to be our unpaid intern for no school credit or really anything that will help you in life whatsoever, then give us a contact.
Send us a fax.
Oh, we'd love to have you on.
Yeah.
You can't be on the show, though, because that would be weird. But
they could.
No.
Why not?
No.
All right. Well, find us at the Arctic.
We really
Pod
dragged out that ending, man.
on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, or the arcticpodcast.com, where you can get this lovely merchandise with Spencer's designs. For episode 124, I'm Bryan.
I'm Spencer. See you next time.